Hello, traders, and welcome to the market opening preview, May 2nd, 2016, on a Monday, beginning of our new trading week. Traders, great to be with you, coming to you from Thailand. Traders, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, got a lot to talk about today. Got 6 currency pairs to take a look at, some trade plans, and see what's going to happen for the rest of the day. And I think we got a pretty good week ahead of us as things are starting to heat up a little bit, and we'll get to that in just a second. Let me introduce myself to you, and my name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the market opening preview series every single trading day before the London Open. Traders, I will tell you that I do record this during the Asia session. So if you look at this at London, just go back about 10 to 12 candles, and you'll be able to see where I started the presentation on a 30-minute chart. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006, and in 2008, I retired from a wonderful 27-year career as a firefighter paramedic out of the great state of Florida. 9 days later, came to Thailand for a 3-month holiday. Well, traders, I have to tell you, I'm in my 9th year here living in Thailand, and I'm having a great time. Traders, the nicest part about it is the time zone. I can trade all 3 trading sessions and still get a good night's rest. Up early in the morning, to bed late at night, and we just trade away. The nice part is I don't have to sit behind my computers all day long because we have modern technology called an iPad, an iPhone, and Androids, and all that good stuff where we can watch your trades during the day on the move. Traders, I do listen to fundamentals, and fundamentals have become a very important part of trading in the Forex markets because we're macro traders and we trade the globe. So it's real important to know what's going on. I pay for a news feed that runs all the time, and I'm pretty much up on what's going on. Now, the hard part is learning some of the stuff that they're saying. That's going to take some time, and I've been doing this for some time, and it's always a learning process when you talk about fundamentals. And then how is price going to react? So I don't trade the numbers. In other words, when a number gets released, whether it's an interest rate decision or whatever it is, I don't trade that number. I usually wait about 40 minutes, and then I will enter a trade if everything lines up correctly with my technicals and my fundamentals. I love being a technician. I love looking at charts, analyzing candlesticks, price action, price structure, price failure, support, resistance, higher time frames, all that stuff. So you put both of them together and you do an analysis, and then you come up with a trade plan. Put your trade plan in action, and you just wait for price to come back to you. I'm a pullback trader, so in other words, I let the move happen, wait for the pullback, and then continue on. And that's when I enter into my trade. So I do use Fibonacci a lot in my trading, and I find it's kind of important. I do use 3 EMAs on my charts, and that's a 10, a 55, and a 200 exponential moving average, and you'll see that on my charts as we get moving. All right, that's enough about me. Let's keep the lawyers happy, so let's do our risk disclaimer. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex market. Traders, most importantly, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Remember, traders, what is the most important part about trading? Yes, capital preservation. Live to trade for tomorrow. If you have no funds in your account, you can't trade tomorrow. So money management is so important. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's get to it. Let's take a look at how the markets closed on Friday. Believe it or not, the U.S. markets all closed in the red. The Dow 30 was negative 0.32%. The S&P 500 was negative 0.51%. The NASDAQ was negative 0.62%, and the small cap 2000 was negative 0.91%. Let's take a look at what happened over in the Eurozone. The DAX was negative 2.73%. The FTSE 100 out of London was negative 1.27%. The CAC 40 out of Paris was negative 2.82%. And the Euro Stoxx 50 was negative 2.92%. Traders, let's head on over to Asia, where I'm currently sitting. And I will tell you that some of these are not open yet, but the Nikkei 225 is open, and they're negative 3.97%. The S&P ASX out of Australia is currently negative 1.33%. The China A50 closed on Friday negative 0.26%. They don't open for another about 40 minutes from now. And the Hang Seng out of Hong Kong also opens in about 40 minutes, and they closed on Friday at negative 1.50%. However, Kospi out of Seoul is currently trading, and they are negative 0.46%. Traders, let's take a look at the economic calendar today. Well, a couple of things we need to know is that we have some holidays today. We have China is on a holiday today. Hong Kong is on a holiday today. The United Kingdom, the UK, the Great British Pound is on holiday today. So we also have, not that this will affect our trading, however, South Africa is also on a holiday today. So we have quite a few holidays moving along. Early in Asia today, we had FOMC Dudley speaking, and I think he's still currently speaking. And Australia had, the Aussies, they had a lot of data come out this morning. However, all low impact data. We do have high impact data out of China today. Gaxon manufacturing PMI comes out for April today. However, there's no consensus on this. So I don't think it's going to really move the charts. Anything that you have to deal with China, just remember, always take a look at your Aussie pairs, okay? Always take a look at your Aussie pairs. Also, believe it or not, Canada. Make sure you check with your Canadian pairs also. All right, as we move along through the day, we really do not have any data today. It's a pretty slow day, especially in the London session. It looks like it's the only thing we have in London session is German manufacturing PMI for April comes out. Consensus is 51.9, and previous was 51.9, and that is a high impact news event. Once we get down into the U.S. session, that's the only thing we have left in the U.S. session is ISM manufacturing PMI for April. Consensus is 51.4, previous was 51.8. So they're looking for that to come down a couple of notches. And also, guess what? Yes, the speakers are at it again. ECB President Draghi speaks today, and I don't know where he's speaking, but he does speak in the U.S. session. So that's going to be pretty interesting. He's speaking about a half hour after the U.S. markets open, and that'll be 2200. That'll be 10 a.m. on Wall Street, and that will be 2100 hours in Thailand. All right, traders. So that wraps up what our markets have done on the indices. So what we want to take a look at now, I guess, is a little bit of commentary. What do I think is going to happen? Well, I'm trying to analyze or decide what's going on with the Great British Pound and the Euro Dollar being so bullish. Really don't like these pairs being bullish because they're not bullish, they're bearish, right? However, you're going to find some interesting stuff on the charts today as I put some markings on the charts. So we have some good stuff today. I think we're going to have a good trading week this week. I hope we have a good trading week this week. And I hope we continue the trend. I don't like counter trend trading, so I hope we can continue the trend and keep moving to the upside in getting some pips, right? We want some more pips. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Dollar. This is Euro Dollar. A couple of things on this. You can see that if you look on the bottom of the chart, all the way back to the 26th is where this started, this up move, and it was a bounce off the 55 and the 200 exponential moving average. And it bounced off it and never looked back. Okay, that big spike was, I think that was the FOMC spike there. And you see, that's why I don't trade the, this was probably the statement after it, and this is why I don't trade that, because she just got whipsawed one way or another. And depending on where you put your stop, you just got beat up on this one. So we're in this uptrend. Our current candle is to the upside, and I put on the top of the chart, this magenta line is a daily resistance line. I went to the daily chart. I took a look at the daily chart. So this is coming up to some very critical areas on the daily chart. Now, I want to sell from there. It's also the R1 pivot point. So I'd love to sell this at 1.1479, and we can get out of this at 1.1404, which is going to give us a 74 pip trade if it works, right? If it works. Or this is going to continue to go up. So my theory is that the Brexit talk is why the pound and the euro are just so strong, because polls are saying now that the stay, in other words, stay in the eurozone, is a 75% chance. However, if you look at the poll numbers as far as yes and no, there's only about a 4 or 5 point difference between it. So pretty interesting how they come up with these polls and these numbers. But when that poll came out, and I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday, this really affected it. And ever since then, we have just been on the up mode, right? So this all started back on the 26th of April, right? So it's going to be interesting, folks. We're on May 2nd already. So we've been sideways and then an up move, and here we are, and we're continuing to the upside for some reason. I have no idea. But that's what it is. I want to sell this. I do not want to buy the euro dollar. I think this is going to fall off the cliff here, and that's what I'm expecting. Let's take a look at the pound. Wow, is this some nasty price action on this baby? Look at left of the chart and what current price is. Well, current price is at resistance at the daily pivot point, but look at left of the chart. Left of the chart is a lot of Forex, what I call Forex junk. A lot of price action, a lot of indecision and decision candles. Really nothing I want to trade into or out of, right? I don't want to trade in this, right? I want to get clear of this and then trade. So I'm hoping that this comes back to the downside, breaks the trend line I placed on the chart, and we can get this at about, I have it on here at 46.02, but that's not a good number to get in at. I would go to 45.90 or 45.95 and get a closed candle below that number and then take it to the downside. And, we got a good shot. We're going to probably get a bounce at the 200 exponential moving average, but on the chart, if you open it up all the way, there wasn't a lot of price action there. So I wasn't too concerned about the 200, but I do like the reversal pivot point of S2, and we'll get out at 1.4530. So we're looking for a sell trade on the pound dollar, and remember, they're closed today. The UK is closed today on a bank holiday. All right, here's the Aussie. Wow, this is continued to the downside. This looks to me like this is just a pullback. We expected this when it hit that down move. Look at how it reacted at that 200 exponential moving average and just absolutely fell. Really nice trade on Friday. If you went with our trade plan and you came up with the same trade plan, you did pretty well on this trade. And if you stayed in this, it just worked out well. This was just a great trading day. The Aussie Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday were just nice trades. So I want to sell this. We're at resistance now. We got the 55 EMA, the daily pivot point. So let's sell this at 0.7613. And I put a support line on there just above the S1, and that's because of what's left of the chart. And we want to get out of this at 0.7577. So nice trade if it works. Keep an eye on that China data that's coming out in Asia, and just check your economic calendar. All right, let's take a look at the Euro Aussie. I know this has been moving up, folks, and I really don't like this moving in this direction. I'm bearish in the Euro Aussie. I really want to take this down, and I sure don't want to buy it here, right? We don't want to buy it here, right? The last 5 candles are indecision candles. So, I'm thinking the bulls are going to run out of steam here. So I'm looking to sell this. Now, I could be totally wrong on this, so just, do your own thing. The other thing you could do is you can fib this last swing and see if you get a pullback and then take this to the opposite side, okay? And that would be the thing to do. So what we want to do here is we want to sell this at 1.5040. We'll get out at the S1 pivot point. Why? Because if you look left of the chart, that is support. And we'll get out at 1.4911. So this is a nice 50 pip trade if we can get this to do its, well, it's more than that. It's over 100 pip trade, right? So yeah, we want this to definitely head on to the downside, and we'll see. But it's bullish the last couple of days, so we're just gonna have to really keep an eye on it, and we'll see how it goes. All right, let's take a look at the euro yen. Now, this slide is the same slide from Friday, and I didn't change the slide. Why didn't I change the slide? Because we're in the same price action. The other issue is we've got to be careful with these yen pairs. You know, we're expecting something's going to happen from the BOJ. Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda is going to do something, and I don't know what. But you know, the markets were pretty shocked last week when they didn't do anything to help their currency. And their currency now is very strong and continues to get strong. However, it's stuck here at this current price level, and it's been in this price level for some time. So we're just going to have to wait. Yep, we're just going to have to wait here and see what today brings. But I'm not really looking to trade a yen pair. I'm going to stay clear. I think, you know, they never announce anything in advance when the BOJ makes a move. And they'll just go out and do it. And they always do it when you least expect it. It's either the beginning of the session, lunchtime, or at the end of their session. They'll do what I call an intervention, whatever that could be. And it does look like they are going to postpone their tax rate hike that was scheduled for the beginning of next year. And it looks like they're going to cancel that due to the earthquake that they had 2 weeks ago. Okay, 3 weeks ago. So that's basically been put on hold. I read that this morning. So that's good for that. And the last currency pair for today is the New Zealand dollar. This is in a nasty, nasty 61 pip range. I put it on the chart there for you. You can see the range. And it broke out when I took the slide. So, in other words, when I do these, I don't do everything at the same time. In other words, if I mark the chart up, what my trade plan is, I'm not finished at that point. I usually wait for a certain time of day before I take my snapshot. So we waited, and now we're above the range. So, you know, do you want to buy this here? Well, you can. You can buy it here. You're above, well, you're at the 0.700 price. So if we're going to get any resistance, this is where you would see it. You want to get a candle, a closed candle, bullish closed candle above this. So I would like 70.10, right? And if we get a closed candle at 70.10, we could take this to the long side. This just is going to go out. It's about time it broke out of this range. It's been in this range for, since the 27th, okay? It's been in this range. It's just been sideways and just floating around in this range. Let's see if this stays out. It's a good chance it might pull back in. Traders, I am over my time by 4 minutes today. My, oh my. It's a Monday. All right, traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilda, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I want to thank you again for joining us today. Traders, always remember to trade smart and not hard. A couple of things to remember. Watch if you're trading the yen pairs, and watch the pound and the euro. I expect them to make a turnaround, so we'll see. I could be off, but I don't want to buy the euro. I want to sell it, and I want to sell the pound. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at today. It's a light day for data, so keep an eye on that. And remember, we have bank holidays out there, so also remember that. All right, traders, have a great trading day, and we'll catch you in about 24 hours. Take care now. Bye-bye.